Hello and welcome everyone, duckyobrien here, and today I'll be bringing you guys a preview of a game called Dead Age 2. Dead Age 2 was developed by Silent Dreams, it was published by Headup, was released on to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the PC on July 16, 2020, with the MSRP of $17.99. The exact release date and prices I always list for the PC. It may vary a little bit from platform to platform. I noticed that sometimes it might be released a little bit later on the consoles or have a little bit of a price increase, but for the most part, the information should be accurate. Well, why don't we get started? This is basically a dungeon crawling, turn-based strategy game. It's sort of similar to a game that I just covered recently, Warhammer 40k Mechanicus. It has elements found in, let's say, Deep Sky Derelicts or Darkest Dungeon, but I'm gonna be honest here, this game is a lot less polished. I'll get into it. I'm gonna pick a dude, Jack. I'm just gonna go with the default. Let's look at the upgrades. We have 3 medals. Let's do range combat. No, actually, yeah. We'll do range combat, whatever. I would highly recommend skipping the intro, but I'm gonna play it with the intro to show you guys what it's like. Alright, I'm gonna choose... Let's try it. You know what? Let's go with the default. Ten years ago, the zombification began. The outbreak resulted in pure chaos and billions of deaths. It was the largest catastrophe ever experienced by humanity. Blah blah blah. The text, when I read it, it's kind of flat and devoid of personality for each of the characters represented. It's kind of mediocre, so I don't particularly enjoy reading it, but it does its job, I guess. Okay, here's your character. So here, it's turn-based strategy with action points. There is Overwatch, believe it or not, in this game. Okay, take everything. So there are like back rows, front rows, etc. And I highly recommend skipping the tutorial. I'm gonna play through it, but if it looks appealing to you guys, then you can play it. But for me, it kind of maybe not like the game because it was forcing me to do things. It wouldn't give me the freedom to play the game right away. It's just making me click on boxes and ignore the text because there's so much of it. Right, Jack, Steven, blah blah blah. Apparently, I'm assuming it's from the first game. And here we are. We have the main map right here. Again, this is very similar to a dungeon crawler. Kind of like Darkest Dungeon, Deep Sky Derelicts, Warhammer 40k Mechanicus. Games like that. Basically, you are moving around and each room you kind of have a maybe an encounter with enemies or the ability to search for things. So we're gonna go here. So you do have to find resources. This is all happening automatically. I like how they look the same. Yeah, there's a lot of information if you look at the character, his HP, you know, his attack damage, defense, hit chance, crit chance, all of that. So the thing is, if they're armored, you need either abilities or different attack types to break through it. There it is, Molotov. I like how there's just a dead body there that they don't clean up. Right now we are at the main base. So build some ammo. Ammo is pretty hard to come by in the very beginning of the game. So scouting will look for items and it'll pass by for the nighttime. If you go out during night, it's gonna be much harder. So that kind of red bloody skull represents an elite unit. These guys are pretty annoying. It's a range unit. So this guy is attacking by himself. Usually when you're playing you can control everyone, but right now you're just controlling Steven. I didn't even click on that one, but whatever. Okay, so you have situations like this where, you know, if you're familiar with Darkest Dungeon, you have an opportunity for a little risk or reward. So there's berries, you can choose to gather them, but you risk being attacked. Such as right now, you get ambushed, and he, for some odd reason, will choose to keep collecting berries while your friend is being attacked. Again, very odd. It makes no sense to do this. It would make sense to attack them and then collect the berries. But yeah. So here you can build up sections of the base. It's a little obtuse in that you have to have the resources first of all. So we have the concrete blocks or whatever they are, the parts if you look here. And then you kind of need a person with the right skill to be able to build that base. So when you're building, let's say like a hunting stack, you need someone with the hunting skill available. I built this. So here, there are like 3 factions, the smugglers, the independents, and then the US Army, and there's like a faction rating for each of them. So they said, hey, give us money or we're gonna attack you. And I'm like, I ain't being bullied. We're gonna fight. Okay. They have to attack the barricade, which is just garbage. Oh, this game. So it's some of the gun sound effects sound like air pistols, you know? Yes, attack that garbage. I don't know why they made him switch to melee weapons when the gun is so much better. Easy peasy. So that was kind of like the tutorial. And then you find out that Steven, the guy we're just playing, had a deal with Kira and betrayed everyone. And the thing is, like, for me, it doesn't have any weight because, like, you don't get time to get to know these characters. You're just going through the tutorial. I guess it makes sense if you play the first game, but like, if you're just playing the second one, there's no build-up. So like, the reason why I'm critiquing this is I watch a lot of movies and I love talking about movies, and this game, the character development and the narrative, how it's delivered, is very poor. It's early access game, so maybe it'll get better. I don't know, but my advice would be not to focus too much on it because it will drive you insane how like flat it is and devoid of any personality. If you read the dialogue, every person sounds the same. There's no distinction from one person to another, and you don't really see any of the character's personality shining through in the text. Like, a really good example of it being well done would be Fort Triumph. And I forgot what the other game was called. I don't know, I think it was Fort Triumph, where when I was reading it, it was clear what each person's character and personality was, and I can even imagine what their voice would sound like, possibly. Because it was that distinct and unique and an identifying feature of the characters, whereas here it's just here to give you information. So and there's kind of like an information overload as well, where they're throwing all this stuff at you and you're like, why do I need to care about this certain thing, etc. Anyways. So they're talking about all this kind of stuff. Who is this Fernando character? Just kill him. Okay, so we got a quest. We gotta go look for Sarah's friend. I'm just going through all the text to get the waypoints. Again, like, they're talking about relationships, and I'm just like, I just don't care. Writing is not the best. Okay. Take a look at the map. So... oh wait, I forgot to read Steven's letter. Inventory. So, this is why, you know, the writing could be better. If you look here. So this is the guy that betrayed everyone, right? My best friend Jason. It isn't easy to admit to myself that I betrayed you. It's not so cut and dry, but I guess it never is. Actually, it is. You did betray them. That is what it is. I regret what I have done, and I sincerely hope you all manage the tough spot I have put you in. So he's like, I know I messed you guys up, but I hope you guys are doing okay. What a non-apology. I'll be laying low with the smugglers to the southeast for a while. Stay alive. Steven. P.S. I left you a key and a hideout with a few items as a way of an apology. What the actual heck? This isn't how like a real person would talk. Especially in like a zombie apocalypse. Like, yeah, I don't know. It just makes me, it just annoys me. Okay. So I'm gonna play through a little bit and then we're gonna call it there. So let's go visit Steven's hideout. Can also deal with the Independence Way. Actually, can I actually go this way? Okay. I grab some water. Got some cola. It is old-timey. It's like a barbershop quartet zombie group here. Alright, it's Jason's turn. Let's see. Pistol. Okay, I'm gonna have her move up. Sarah is a G, by the way. Her knife skills are amazing. The reason why I'm trying to use bladed weapons is that, again, ammo is kind of hard to find early on, so, you know, using melee weapons kind of helps. I think I might have to heal Sarah soon. Yeah, this is happening all automatically. I'm not controlling anything. Okay, we got our water. Like, this doesn't make sense. He's like, can we talk for a moment? It's like, I was confused. Confused about what? We can talk like this sometimes. Has its advantages. Where are you off today? Blah blah blah. Ooh. Alright, we're gonna go to the hideout so we can show that off real quick. Like how there's zombies everywhere. But they don't attack you. Except for these. Alright, I kind of regret not picking the shotgun. It's a lot better. But what can you do, right? Okay, there you go. Kind of have an easier time now. Let's see. Where did he come from? Also, the names are kind of funny. Malicious Suit. Unfortunately, there's no one behind him, but it does push him back. So, the game is kind of like a roguelite in that if you die, you have your upgrade points, which you can spend on a new character, and then start a new game. So, it's made with that in mind, but if you play carefully, you know, it's not the hardest game in the world. I actually got some ammo there. Look at this. A hamburger, perfect. We're at Steven's shack, traitor. Oh, they have assault weapons. What the heck? Oh, she's back. Perfect. Didn't get to attack. What, there's more? Oh, there's a little bit of RNG. Like, Steven's hideout was not in this location before, and when I went, it was just a little bit of zombies, so... Let me switch road to bladed weapons now. Oh, that was not the right choice. Okay. There you go, went in. That's what I wanted to see. They say the same thing when they level up, by the way. Oh, what's so funny? Nice, we got an AK. And a lot of building parts. Thanks, Steven. I hate how it says it's not a very good one. It's an AK-47. What were you expecting? Alright, we'll do this and we'll call it here. Okay, now where would this Denise character be? Alright, well that's fantastic. It's like a person in gear just sweeping the floor there. Alright, I guess we have one side job at a time then, I don't know. Wait. Let's take the letter then. Go through the gun store. This zombie halfway through the door. Ooh. I like how they're just stealing things from this person's store. It's kind of uneventful. Thanks, simple shoes. The same loadout. Let's move on, I guess. I don't want to spend money that I don't have. Let's check our water. We're kind of running low. Oh, plating, shoot. I don't have Molotovs. That's really annoying. Oh, blunt weapon though. Let's see. We don't have Molotovs, do we? Who is engineering? That was Overwatch right there, surveillance. Do I not have engineering? Oh, that sucks balls. And there we go. Not worth. Oh jeez, we're crying out loud. First of all, it got loud all of a sudden. I don't have the health to deal with this. Why is it so loud? My goodness. This, I just want some water. That's it. Does that hurt my own dude? We'll find out. The sound in this game needs a lot of work. I don't want to leave this place. It's too loud. Oh. Please. Okay. YOLO. $45 chance, we did it. We did it, guys, we did it. Alright, I'm gonna give Sarah the cloth armor because she's honestly the best. Alright, let's go chasing some meds. Okay. I think we'll call it there. We'll go back to base. So here, let's look at the garden. Can we build it? We can. Alright, so we got the garden built, and then you have to assign someone to work it. Okay, so from what I was saying before, you know, if you want someone to work here, you kind of have to assign them into the garden, and then they can, whatchamacallit, convert seeds and water into food and more water, I suppose. So, you know, the thing is though, so I'm gonna go over some of the, I guess, the issues I had with the game. First of all, the tutorial is way too long and it doesn't really teach you the nuance to the combat. You can skip it though, so the developers have added a skip tutorial button. I highly recommend doing that because it's really long and it's gonna frustrate most players, so if you're impatient, I highly recommend skipping the tutorial. If you don't understand anything about the combat, you can go back and play it later, but I think giving the players hand-on experience is pretty important, because the tutorial, what it does is it gives you text after wall of text, and it kind of like highlights the button, say click here, so what most people will do is zone out, skip through the text, just click on the buttons that are highlighted, and then they don't really know why they're doing the actions they're doing. And another thing is, like, there's a lot of things that they don't really go over. For example, they say go into a defensive stance when enemies are going to do a charge attack, but it doesn't really teach you how to recognize when an enemy is going to do that, so there's a lot of key information missing. And then another thing is, I think the dialogue is kind of poorly written. The text for all the characters are one-dimensional and flat, and there's no really distinct personality to each of these characters. They even kind of look almost all the same. So, you know, these are minor gripes I have, but you guys have seen the game. I think there's some promise to this. It's just that it's kind of hard to recommend when there's games that are doing the same thing but better. So that's how it is. But I think there are people who will like this game. There's definitely something to it. Again, like when you build a garden here, right? You know, you expect it to show up in the game and be like, oh, your house has a garden now. You can see some visual feedback to show you that you have a garden, and that, you know, it should make the game a lot easier for you to play. Instead of doing that, it's just, there's no actual feedback. It lacks weight. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like, the things that you do kind of don't seem to matter. It does matter, obviously, because it'll give you a lot more water and a little bit of food, and next thing you build is the hunting stand, which will give you way more food. So it does have impact on the gameplay. It just lacks weight because there's a lack of feedback to the players showing you what you accomplished. So there's kind of a lack of a reward system or an incentive to keep you playing the game. If it was more clear, then I think players would enjoy this game a little bit more. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Again, there's all these things that you can build. Outfitters for clothing. You got forge for weapons. You get ammunition, medicine, sleeping area to restore health, comm station to go scouting, and all of that. It is what it is. I'll leave it there. I'll let you guys decide, because I think I played enough of the game to show you guys what it's like, and you guys can make up your own mind whether you're going to like it or not. But yeah, there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for dropping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to see for me to cover, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Anyways, this game was Dead Age 2, developed by Silent Dreams, published by Headup. It's out now on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the PC. And MSRP should be $17.99. Again, the release date and the prices are for the PC specifically. It may vary a little bit from console to console. And there you have it, folks. Yeah, honestly, when I was first playing the game, I always stream it, and I was not having a good time. But when I came back and played through it a second time to make this video, it did go a lot smoother because I just learned to skip through everything. Skip the tutorial, skip all the text, and just get to the nitty-gritty of the game. And you know what? It was okay. I still think there are a lot of flaws, and I'm not sure if it's gonna get addressed, even though this game is in early access. But yeah, that said, I'm not here to tell you guys whether I like the game or not. It's more to show you guys what the game is like, and then have you guys decide whether you think you would like it or not. That's my main purpose here. So I try to keep my own personal opinions out of it as much as possible. It's kind of impossible to do that 100%, because it leaks in here maybe here, a little bit there. Try to be objective, but I know there may be people who like this game. So hopefully the people that like it can find this video, watch it, and then decide to buy the game, and have them play this game and have fun with it. You know, that's my main goal. So there you have it, folks. Thank you so much once again. Hope you guys are staying safe and sane out there, and catch you guys next time. Oh, one funny note before I leave. In my first playthrough, there was a guy named Lance, and I was just YOLOing through the game. He died, and then when I came back, Lance came back. He came back alive. He's like, "Hi guys, I'm Lance. I'll be joining your camp today." And I was like, "What in the world? Lance is immortal." Okay, I'm gonna end it there.